Right back on that ass with another episode. When we talk about NFTs, there's only one podcast to tune into. This one right here. About to spit these rhymes like a masterclass. Connect your MetaMask. Half these PFPs are trash. DNS, do not smash. Crypto Poppy found in it. Now he's getting cash. Rules ain't there yet. Please don't be rash. NFT got stepped on the scene. He made a splash like corporate cash. I just quit my job at DoorDash. Nice guys finished last. Stepped out of the ashes straight into the squanch land. Fungibly a new man. Alphabet, he's flyer than a fucking toucan. Ways to go from kangaroo land. Schiller, he a moon man. About to get goofy, go grab doofy, get a horse. My wife couldn't get my NFTs, straight up in divorce. Fuck it, take the keys to my motherfucking porch. Trash cash, let the mad bees run the course. Squanching past the knowledge like a motherfucking torch. From the outside looking in, I just got off the porch.
Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, 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 go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, 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 go.
Go AB, go AB, go. If you didn't, now you know. Like Suki Zay pump in the blow. TikTok's art is a trend to go. Plunging, no plunging, and capping, no capping. Been around the block and been running laps and been right rhymes and been getting raps and keeping that ETH when dingling taps and snap in, snap out. I'm big on big clout. Don't scream, don't shout. Suck the cool cat, cool with those two. What's incoming? I can't afford you. Zed had got a horse that is glue. Sneakerheads better stick to their shoes. Creatures trending, I'm not amused. Lost souls blow up, I'ma light the fuse. BG on sports, I bet I'm gonna listen. Cody and ZK, they men on a mission. The lawyer be lawyering while Bakra be fishing. What is a floor and how many minted? Am I gonna ape and I already hinted. Don't have an ape and it ain't no mystery. But these bad boys are about to make history. Fresh ass suit at the Christie's. Christie's.
Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, go, go.
All right, everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Limited Edition. Tonight on the show, I have Ben will be here in a little while, but I have Iceman on the show tonight. Want to introduce yourself? I'm sure a lot of people seen your YouTube videos. You're like how-tos and don't get scammed and all that. Like you've been doing really good stuff for the whole Syn City community. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Iceman. I've been doing the YouTube thing for about 28 days now when I found Syn City, and it's just basically been about know-how, how to figure everything out inside Syn City, what's going on, what's the latest news, what's the updates, just figuring out everything and trying to explain everything to people. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I fell in love with the place, with the whole community, and the project itself. And I'm a devoted YouTuber for Syn City. I can't hear you.
NFT God, you're muted.
My bad. Yeah. I was gonna say that's how I found you. I was watching your videos, like, whoa, who's this guy? And I saw you were in the same syndicate as I am, but we're moderators tonight, so we're not gonna say which syndicate we're in. But for I saw you, and yeah, now you're on the show with me, man. That's awesome. Welcome.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I'm glad to be here with you guys. This is awesome. For
sure. So cool. We're gonna start it off with I'm gonna let each syndicate give a little blurb about yourself. I'm gonna start with Rat Kingdom. Here's what I was told. Like he Rat Lord told me a lot, but I'll read what he told me I could say. He says all of Rat Kingdom is NTSC and others follow the same basic lore, rules, morals that started as Neo Tokyo, which the king really put in motion. We don't really have a hierarchy per se, but we have a group of individuals that kind of help guide and push the kingdom in a particular direction to benefit everybody. However, we all are still independent in our own right. For example, if someone has a great plan, we do run it by the king to make sure it doesn't interfere with some of the things he has going on for that which is yet not yet disclosed. So you want to build on that?
Sounds about right, man.
Rat Kingdom, we started in Neo Tokyo. We were all doing the riddles and stuff for months. That's why we're so drawn to like Syn City, right? So we were doing riddles for months. I mean, I'm talking like back in June, things like that. Alex Becker's just stringing us along. We got into Discord. We got to the contract. We got to the mint thing where you enter in your information. We're whitelisted, and we ended up failing for whatever reason. Me, for example, I was putting a ETH address in where you're supposed to put your token ID, right?
Oh,
and I had
no.
two season one Neo Tokyos on two addresses. So we joined the Discord, and there were so many spicy, pissed off people in there. We got sick of it, and whatever reason, the dumpster was made, and we just started to have a good time out of general, where all the poison was, and we started kind of mocking them, for how shitty they were. Then the Rat King, he started role playing for whatever reason, and it turned into like this battle we got through in the vents, and then I started like just making snippets and stories of it, and I think I'm the only person he ever asked to be something. He asked me, he's like, you want to be the Rat Lore Master? I'm like, sure. And that's kind of how that started. And then with Syn City and everything like that, again with the riddles, it builds that connection you have with your community and your friends and people
For
you
sure.
meet. And once you're emotionally invested, man, you're not leaving. I mean, this is kind of how it is.
That's how I feel.
And I wish I would have known about Iceman stuff, when I first started, because I made pretty much every mistake possible. The hard way.
We all have, man. We all have. Like,
it's all a learning curve, man, and that's pretty much the process of everything. So, I tell you how many mistakes I've made, forget
God.
it.
Yeah.
But basically we just kind of formed a group, and it's just rats hate greed. We were a failed upload, and our goal is to kind of interject ourselves into every major gaming ecosystem there is, and represent the Rat Kingdom, and kind of go from there, man.
Oh, there you go. So we'll give everybody another shot. I mean, I'm asking questions where you can pretty much recruit on the show tonight. So we'll get it back into that later on. Is there anything else before I move on to Hack?
You talking to me or Hack? I was picking
you. Is there anything else you want to say before I move on to Hack?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right, we have two people from Hack. I don't know who's going to speak, but we have I don't know how to say your name. Heimdall?
Yeah, you just say Heimdall. It's the Norse god.
Oh, I like that name. And then we have Galaxy Shards as well. So either one of you guys can go ahead and. Oh wait, first I'll say what I was sent by your group. I was sent, like, you guys are pretty. I like it. You guys are aggressive. Hack is poised to become the dominant syndicate in Syn City, commanding some of the most adept technical minds in the metaverse. The syndicate is laying the groundwork to ensure absolute control of the digital underworld. That's pretty aggressive. I like it, because you have to be aggressive in this stuff, man. So add on whatever you want to say.
Yeah. So the question is, what made you join Syn City? Correct?
No. We're not there yet. No. Right now, I'm just asking you if you want to introduce yourself and talk about Hack a little bit before we get going into the roundtable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, like you read there, Hack is some of the most adept, technical minds in the metaverse. I don't know whether that was just happened because our name is Hack, and it just drew all of the programmers and artists and all these people to our group by default. Kind of seemed that way. But yeah, Galaxy, is there anything you want to say?
He shook his head no. I will say one thing. I want to add to what you said. I will say when I actually joined MXM at the beginning, and they kind of died out like within a day or two. Like, I don't even know what happened. It just died immediately. And after I had joined another one, I saw your guys' stuff, and I loved it. Like, I love seeing the animations, especially that robot face like falling apart where it's like spinning. Like, you guys have some really cool stuff going. Like, whoever your animators are top notch, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we have some really talented people in our group, and I can kind of say the same thing. When I joined Syn City, I was like, am I going to start my own small kind of group of people? I even came up with my own riddle for people to solve and, to kind of.
Oh, you did
people.
Too?
Yeah. And
awesome.
and I saw the hack group already fully formed. I saw their Miro board, and I was like, these are the guys I wanna be with. And so I joined up.
All right, nice. All right, Hitman Double X, you're up next. I didn't really get a bio from you guys, so yeah, I did. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought I had all this already there.
It's all right. I've had a hell of a morning.
Yeah, you being a female just threw me all off track now. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. Well, basically, I whacked the A Bowden that you thought you knew, and naturally use the precision you come to expect from a hitman. So I'm here in his place, but fortunately,
that's no problem.
Been the offsider, hiding in the shadows this whole time. So the crypto journey is been good, and yeah.
Well, tell us a little about. Before we get into questions, tell us a little bit about your syndicate.
Well, the Double Tap Hitman was started when our boss TNC looked around and thought, you know what is missing from the obvious mafia metaverse is hitmen. We need people that are going to go around and do all the dirty jobs. So, we are focused on quality versus quantity, and we want people that are equally as committed to come on board and share their talents and take out the trash, so to speak. And, we practice what we preach, obviously.
Well, you're one of the good ones. Everybody here, we're all part of the top seven syndicates right now. So everybody here is doing a great job so far. And I don't see anybody really slacking off, because when I go back and forth between those the public channels, I see a lot of activity in all of them. So that's good to see, because I'm here. That's the whole reason why I wanted to do this show, because regardless of what syndicate I am, I want to support everybody, all of our syndicates, because we are the first 7. We all built from the ground up, and we're not like some big guild group coming in to slaughter everybody. Like we're kind of like formed, like we kind of have like a relationship that we have to keep regardless of being against each other in the game overall.
Yeah, we got a camaraderie.
For sure. Sure.
And to add on that, that's the biggest thing when you come into the Discord channel. Even though you have different syndicates, everyone gets along. It's like one big family. And that's what really separates this place from, I think, a lot of other places.
For sure. All right. LATR, Scion, you're up.
Hey, so yeah, I'm Scion. I'm a chair for LATR. I guess my start with Syn City was probably like most people. Like I was looking into it because I was like, let's see like if this is going to be a big like NFT crypto game. Saw Hustlepedia's YouTube channel or a YouTube video about it, and then I kind of just like I figured when I saw the investors behind it, I like instantly kind of just believed in it, because I don't know, I feel like successful people often like create successful products. So it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I'll just do what they say basically, because I kind of trust that if they're saying this is going to make money and like these are the steps to do it. And they weren't just like riding on hype. They really kind of wanted to have this organic growth. I was like, cool. So I joined LATR pretty early on, and I would say my main thing that I was focused on and like the macro, making sure like the syndicate that I joined has this, is like, if you think about even just like 1 month from now, but like really like a year, 2 years from now, I mean, we're gonna be talking about a lot of money that's like gonna be in control from these syndicates. And to me, it's like that's a disaster waiting to happen if you don't have the proper like system set up to like support a bunch of people like all collectively working on something with a lot of money involved and like a whole tax system. So to me, it's like I just took that really seriously, and I think it was really important that we set up a structure where like everyone would get rewarded for their efforts, and there wasn't like just a couple people at the top that could kind of screw everyone, rug pull and whatnot. And we're gonna see now with like the syndicate mob bosses, like they're gonna have a lot of control over what happens with these rewards. So all to say, like LATR, I can't speak for what the other syndicates have, but we have like a very strong governance system that is there to ensure that the community is like they make money from this just like anyone else, just like the leaders and the chairs. No one's going to make more money from their rank or anything like that. And so and yeah, I mean, so I think that's really what we're focused on. And if that's something that you care about, I would say that LATR is the place for that. And then in addition, you know, just like the rest of these guys, like we have a great community, diverse sets of skills, talents. You'll make friends, you'll make connections that can help in like entrepreneurial things, you know, so all around, just it's good stuff.
For sure. I like to add one thing. At the beginning, when I first saw the developers and the team, I thought Tron was the game Tron. And now that I actually see what Tron is as a crypto token, I like it even more because I mean that's basically what this game is. It's basically a game built upon like a Dogecoin, pretty much. Like that's basically what the whole thing is. And you have to have people buying and selling in order to create the liquidity, in order to have, if without liquidity, everything's going to go downhill. Like that's what Meta Mafia and the people were saying, like in the first AMA, where basically Tron, once it lost its utility, that's why it tanked, because you have to have utility. So now they came back to the drawing board with a game, and the game has huge investors. And as I read earlier, we all read, they have like, these guys are from like Yahoo, Google, EA, Roblox. Like there's just so many big people, like big companies that have talent coming in. And I've been telling people all day, it's like, this is my alpha, and in my channels, I talk about it. People put like the sleep sign now because that's all I talk about.
It's good, man. I'm with you. I'm with you.
You see the vision though. That's
I can't wait to talk about the blueprints.
Yeah, so do I. All right, let's circle back to Rat Lore Master. My first question, everybody's gonna get a chance to answer. What made you join Syn City? Like, what drew you into it?
It was the community. The main thing, you guys are just touching base on this, actually. It's, you have nothing if you don't have a community behind it. You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows it exists, there's no point to it. You can be the most skilled individual in the world, and if no one knows you have that skill, then you're never going to have any work, right? I just love the concept of it. My childhood, I grew up dating myself a little bit, but I was growing up in the 90s and things like that, and a lot of my memories are some of games. And you start thinking about the kids, like my stepson, he's 17 now. His memories aren't of camping and going out and doing things like we kind of used to, right? His memories jumping off Fortnite, fragging this dude across the map, or getting this sword in a game. Well, you want to be able to show that when you're my age, man. I actually play Ultima Online still because like I played that when I was a teenager, just to collect all my old items. So to actually have ownership of the items and things like that, I think is absolutely paramount. Like, hey, put on your VR headset. Let's go hang out in my, VR mansion. Here's a sword I got when I was 12 and, Fortnite. So I'm just super excited where the future goes. And between, things like Neo Tokyo, Syn City, and a couple other emerging things, this is where it's at. And
you're muted.
I best not be muted.
No, NFT got is muted again.
NFT got is muted. Sorry. You're fine, Rat. You're fine, Rat Lore.
I was gonna, go ahead if you had more. If not, I was gonna say, same question to you, Hack. Whichever one of you want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think if your game in these days, if you have an NFT project that doesn't have a community, you don't have anything, right? I mean, that the community is what builds these games. And the one thing that this really has going for it is the whole DAO built into it. I think that's going to be huge. I think decentralized crypto games are the future. So what really drew me to this, obviously, also is the team, I got to say. I mean, they have some really big VCs, really big influencers, a lot of backing in this project. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. And then just the overall, the unique aesthetic, the Mafia is a DAO. I mean, it's just a really cool idea. The guys, they came up with something really unique, really cool. And I think I honestly can't wait for the game to come out so we can all be coordinating and making alliances and backstabbing each other, of course. And, it's going to be a good one. But yeah, Galaxy, you want to say anything?
Yeah, the ARG I came in for that, and I've stayed ever since for the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that's the case for a lot of people, to be honest.
I came in for the game, and I'm here for the ARG. So it doesn't. I came in for the game. If I get an ARG, if I win an ARG in this next time round, awesome. If not, I'm still here for the game.
Oh yeah, man. I hear that.
Bowden or A, you said you would like to be called A. You're up. Same question.
Well, basically, if we're gonna stick with what drew us to it, what drew me to it was the people that are involved. I looked at the people behind it and the brands. So everyone from the individuals putting the name out there, Elio and Alex Becker and all that, but having Emico brands, anything they touch is good. And if you want to get in on the ground floor of something that's going to go places, traditionally, you want to go with people that know what they're doing. And if they're going to attach their name to it, I think that's a good starting point for most, anything. So, yeah, follow the people that know what they're doing, and you're more likely to succeed. So that's basically what drew me in, and what keeps me going is the community, having a great family of hitmen. And the Gen Chat is also very good. I have a few friends that are in other syndicates, but that's what keeps you going. And when you build upon something that's as sound as this project is, you've got somewhere to go. Though I must admit, the teasing us with not quite enough information and building the hype, that is a bit painful.
It is. I was just sharing a screen. Like, this game, it looks like it's going to be pretty good graphics too, which is really cool. Because at the beginning, I saw the very first one. I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know. But now it's looking better and better every time. All right. Same question for you, Scion.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what got me in the door for sure, is the same exact reason that A just said. And but I think what makes me, but then the community kind of, the ARG, I think really was the second ARG, I should say, really was a big inflection point, because it forced so many people together, and that's when you kind of saw what the community was. It was your first taste of it. So I think after that, I was definitely more committed, and then getting to kind of just seeing how the team was, and kind of how they were running the project. The fact that it wasn't super it isn't super hypey. I feel like they could be hyping it way more than they are. They're not really hyping their NFTs at all. They're giving them away, they were giving the Genesis passes away for free, even though they could sell them. So that kind of just gave me the right feeling that this was a legitimate project, right? And this isn't just they're not just trying to extract money real quick and get out. And to me, it's this is what the crypto space kind of needs, is an economic an entire economic model that's more than just a game, and that's what they're building here. And I'm I'm a huge believer in that, because any game can die, and it can be cool, and it can the token can make money, and NFTs can make money for a little bit if you sell them at the right time. But they're actually building an entire system that will be able to be ported from game to game, and to me, that's just that's what gives the NFTs such guaranteed value to me. Is because they already have plans to just have these be useful for decades, right? So yeah, that's I don't know if that answers the question, but
Oh, you did. You answered it perfect. I'd like to reintroduce Ben. I just saw you. He just got online. How's it going, Ben? How you been?
Hey guys, how's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good. Hey,
Tell us
I was
about-
out last week with I had a little bit of sickness going on, so feeling a little better this week.
There you go. Good. You have anything to add? I know you just jumped in, but you can answer that first question too, since you just jumped in. What made you join Syn City? Don't say me. Say your stuff.
No, I mean the people who were back in the game was kind of the biggest draw. And then once you see those previews, you're kind of all in at that point. Some of the previews that they showed made the game look really, really good. And to think that you could play this game and earn money doing something like that, if that doesn't make you bullish, I don't know what does.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into one of the good questions now. I'll start this one with Hack. You're up. Why why is Sin City different from other projects / games to you?
Well, I covered that a little bit on my answer to the last question. Obviously, I think the DAO is the biggest difference between this game and other games. I mean, the fact that groups of people can organize in guilds and share revenue and distribute, profits to different members, and organize almost like a corporation within inside the game is probably one of the coolest things. And to have it be like a mafia structure again is like, it's going to make the game successful, I think, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, you have Animoca, you have all these huge, brands investing into this project, and then you got Roy Liu, you got Meta Mafia, you got all these guys. They're all amazing. Sulo, he's fucking awesome. We love Sulo. Arc 2 was a little difficult, we got to say. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but digging through the website code and all that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I just think overall, I think I'm like a DAO maxi. I think DAOs are the future of this entire space. And if your project doesn't have a DAO, I'm not going to invest in it. So anyways, that's it. Oh,
Amen.
Galaxy, if you want to say something.
Honestly, I think this project is amazing for the fact that it's free to play and play to earn. We're able to make money without having to put any initial investment, which is huge since most games require you to either hold the tokens or buy specific NFTs like a Genesis Pass or anything specific. But with the blueprints and the passes, they are just extra. They can provide benefits and unlock big parts of the universe, but it does not prevent anyone from playing.
All right. I don't know.
All right.
Iceman, I don't know if this is your first one, but over here, just so you know, over here on the side, private chat, check those when you see like a little thing.
I got you. All right. I got you. All right. We're going to Bowden now. Or is it CN?
Yep, Bowden.
Yep, sorry, I'm here.
All right. So why is this different from other projects? Which drew you into it?
Oh, I got sucked into the vortex. I don't know about you guys. As mentioned, I've already said the guys and the talent, but the potential, the fact that they have worked it all out. And I feel like we're just repeating each other at this stage, but the fact of the matter is that you have the capacity to grow and earn and learn and build. And I think that this is how we are all going to live, much like in the movie Ready Player One. It's just going to become the new normal. And that's why I'm interested in this project and planning on growing here.
Interesting you said that. Someone said that to me just recently outside. They're like, it sounds like Ready Player One. And I'm like, you know what? It absolutely does. So just to make that connection right there, that is our future.
Yeah, economically, it is what we're going to all be doing before we know it. And the sooner people realize we're going to have a balance of living in the real world and digitally, it's really going to be a split life where you can be yourself during the day and by night a dead set killer.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right, Cian, you didn't answer the question yet, right?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. I agree with what everyone else said there. I would say the other thing is just like, at least as far as other projects that I've been a part of, none of them have been this like the community is actively involved in building it to the degree that this one is. Like, I feel like from very early on, it was pretty clear that the community was like basically part of the team founding it at this point now. And so like, that's really, really cool. So it's like, basically, I feel like all the efforts that, we put in here to help build a community and kind of build the organizational structure that can actually like take advantage of this game and then like, and take advantage of whatever rewards that they give us. I mean, that's like an opportunity that I don't think most crypto projects give you. And so, I mean, when I see an opportunity like that, it's kind of hard not to take it. And the ambition of the project is just, I mean, it's more than any I've ever seen. And I'm all about that, because I think it's such an open landscape that really you can do what you want. And I completely am with Heimdall there with the DAO, like the fact that right from the beginning, it's going to be community run. It's going to be a DAO. And that's so important, given it's going to be something that like economically affects so many people. That's amazing. And there's just nothing like that. And so, yeah, we're all just in such a lucky spot to be able to, be a part of it, in my opinion.
To add on to something that you said, you're right. This place, it's like a partnership between the devs and all the members inside all the community, because it's working hand in hand. And I don't really think you see that much with other projects going on, which is that just alone that self, that's incredible. All right, so we're gonna go over to Hack again.
I mean, that was everyone was asked that question that he had prepared. Another one that I think we wanted to get to is like advice to new people. I think that's like a really good one actually to answer, because there is a lot of new people that are coming in, and yeah, it can be a lot sometimes to repeat yourself to them a bunch, but yeah, I think that'd be good to go over.
All right, so we're gonna go over to, is it Ratlore next?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Ratlore. Okay, so what advice do you have for someone brand new to the game that's just coming right in?
Learn and read everything you possibly can about what you're doing. I think a lot of it, people just kind of come in ignorant, and they think it's kind of free money or whatever, or this and that. Just learn as much as you possibly can. Like, take the time. I had to learn the hard way. Trading, for example, like, if I just learn candles, I can make money. If I just learn patterns, I can make money. It doesn't work. You have to know the why these things happen. And then interact. Like, I'm a very introverted person, and I was for my whole life, and I got kind of thrown into some social stuff in my private life that forced me to kind of talk to people, and the connections you make just by being there and are insane. The people I've met in the Rat Kingdom and even Syn City, and they've all merged, these are legitimate successful people. Like Dogepound, for example, I was talking to like little millionaires, like just like we're talking now. So reach out, talk, and just play the game. If you're going to be that part, be that part. One of their sayings in Rat is to become a rat in Neo Tokyo. It's a little different of a process. You got to pick your name, right? And you got to pick your role. And if you're going to be rat, be rat. Like, so if you're going to pick that role, be that role. Win in Rome, right? So that's my biggest thing. Advice is learn, and then interact, and then just play the game. If you got to put on a funny hat and act a silly way, then act a silly way. It's fun. Who cares?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're playing one big game, right? At the end of the day.
Exactly. Our end goals are all the same. You know what I mean? We all want to be successful, and then that's the connections you make along the way is where the value is, and hopefully some money too one day.
Yeah, that's the plus.
I think pretty soon.
I just want to chime. Oh,
no, I'm
sorry.
done.
I just want to chime in real quick and say I'm starring all the questions that I'm going through and looking at people want to answer. We'll answer those at the end though, after we get through these, because I mean, unless these guys want to skip these questions, but I think I came up with some pretty good questions that everybody can interact with everyone. But we will answer your questions towards the end once we get through these ones. And I'm gonna let Ben and Iceman take it over for a while. I'm losing my voice a little bit here, so go ahead, guys.
Ben, you want to take over? Or you want me to go?
You can go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so we're gonna go back over to Hack now. And what advice do you give somebody that's just coming right into the game, coming into the Discord channel? What's the best advice that you could give to someone?
You can come to the Hackers channel and join our syndicate. I'm just kidding. No, definitely. So definitely do your own research. Obviously, the first thing you want to do is read everything you can. Go to the website and go and look at everybody who's invested into this project. Look at all the people, read about their backgrounds. Look up like Alex Becker or any of those guys if you haven't heard of them before.
Research is key. Absolutely.
Yeah, go look at the white paper, which is amazing. I mean, they did a really good job on their document. It really encompasses everything. You know, if you haven't read the full white paper for Syn City yet, I highly recommend it. And yeah, I mean, just do your own research, figure out which syndicate you think's the best, you know, what fits your aesthetic. You know, everybody's got their own thing, you know, Double X, they got the Hitman vibe. We got the hacker vibe. You know, Later's got like the old school mafia thing going on. RK's, you know, they're rats. And I think, you know, choose what fits you. You know, it's a choose your own adventure game. And, you know, that's the thing. So,
he's coming back. I think he heard that one.
Genetically modified cyber rats.
Hey, I got nothing against you guys. You know, I got a lot of friends who are rats. So
he's starting the fighting words already. All right, we're gonna go over to Bowden now. So, what advice would you give somebody that's just coming into the game or coming into the Discord channel? What's the best thing that you can offer?
Well, my written response to this was to say if they hadn't seen it already, to go and watch Ready Player One, because I do think that's a key starting point. And beyond that, get them to think about where they think the world is going to be. So once they've considered the realities of today with the economic situation and pandemic and such, and the opportunities of tomorrow, then look around at the projects on the horizon. And once you evaluate those projects, and by evaluating, I mean spend months losing your butt and studying and researching and learning from your mistakes. And once you've done that and accomplished it, you acknowledge that a majority of projects fail. You will quickly put it together that you can either get on the ground floor of something that's got potential, or you can try and ride the coattails of something that's likely, you know, at the end of its arc. And I think this project is at the beginning of what's going to be a very prosperous future. And once you've figured that out, the next step is how can you contribute? Not what you're going to get out of it. Because if you're too focused on your benefit, nobody wins if all we do is take. So you have to be focused on your contribution, how you move this thing forward. And if we can figure out how enough people are moving it forward together, then we all win. So do your research, get your head in the right space. And if you don't find a family that suits you, you know, consider maybe being, you know, a solo person. But I think because the name Syn City, like syndicate is a significant proportion of this game. And you have to basically align yourself with like-minded people, because if you don't find those like-minded people and jive, you're not going to really feel welcome. So I think that's the biggest thing for new people is know that we are a good-hearted crew of all of the syndicates, generally speaking. So find your people and thrive with your people.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, you want to be with like-minded individuals to achieve success. So absolutely. That was great. All right. So we are going to talk about your Syn.
Wow. Cyan. But
Cyan.
so and no, it's all good. Just to add on to that, it's like exactly what you said is right. Like find where you fit in, and honestly, every one of the syndicates, at least like these big ones, like there's going to be a place for you if you know, contribute, I'm sure. So like at the end of the day, it really, a lot of it, at least what I've seen so far, is it comes down to your own initiative. Like don't, like people come in and I understand why, like we're all like this at first. You come in, you're like, when this, when that, you want someone to tell you what to do. And like, I think the way in Syn City is to just like, you gotta try, you gotta go out there yourself and explore, and you gotta add things. Like you just pick one that you vibe with and start like adding and contributing, and you'll just meet people along the way doing that. So just like take your own initiative. This is exactly the time to be putting in this groundwork. Like the game, if you're wondering when the game is gonna start, then you're kind of missing it, because the game is being played. I guarantee you, every one of us that's on here right now, we've been playing the game for 5 weeks, right? And this is, once it comes out and all that money's being made and the turf is being fought over, like if you're trying to catch up, then you're going to be behind. You've missed the chance to like kind of lay that groundwork. So this is a time, And it's a mafia game. So you don't want to be on your own. You want to build these relationships, and you want to get in with one of these organizations. So yeah, I would just say, like, don't wait, just go for it. Just jump in feet first.
Yeah.
That's that
Hear,
whole
hear.
saying, show me who you associate with, and I'll show you who you'll become type of deal. If you surround yourself with cool and successful people, just by attrition, you're going to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 1,000%. All right, so I was thinking about talking about these ARGs now and what everyone is fighting for, the Syn City Genesis Pass. So let's go over to Ratlor. And how important are these Syn City Genesis passes?
Man, I think these passes are, I feel they're key. It's kind of, it builds that desire amongst everyone else. And yeah, it's kind of nasty side to it too, because people, get envious and things like that, but you're always thinking about it. Being a part of that, that's just kind of the main structure, like the end game type of deal. You have different games. You have the game itself, but then you also have like the end game of like the DAO side of things too, right? Like, I'm one of those guys who kind of wants to get to the end game, to beat the final boss type deal. So to me, having one of those is like, you kind of made it. You can, collect your royalties or whatever it is, and then, kind of go from there. It's kind of like the season 1 Neo Tokyo stuff, or, the pristine doges or whatever. It's just that separation. So I'm all about those. They're gonna be hard to get though. As far as the ARG itself goes, all I have to say is, fuck Dumont. That's their saying now. Dumont, really? We're just our whole syndicate was going off, and they're like, Dumont. So that's a suburb. That's not. Everyone lost their shit over that. So all my little memes I've done lately just have a little, bleep in the corner say effing Dumont. So if you ever see that, you'll know why.
Well, before that, I wanted to add the second part of that. What about the blueprints too? There's gonna be 800 of the Syn passes total, and there's gonna be 8,000 of blueprints total. And right now we have close to 200,000 people in the Discord. So, I mean, the math doesn't add up where everybody's gonna have one at all. So, what do you think about the blueprints as well?
You're going to have a serious supply shock. It's when you have that many people. One of the first things I learned when trying to get into these projects after failing a bunch of times is you got to research the community first, right? And there is something to be said in numbers. Even if it's a crappy community, if you got numbers, there's still going to be a demand for it. It'll probably crash after, but this one's not like that. I think these are going to kind of follow the season 2 type trail of like Neo Tokyo, right? They're going to be less than the main passes, but they're going to fall not too far behind. Unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about what they actually do. I kind of fell asleep during that part of the white paper, but I know there's a big demand for them.
A lot of information.
I fell asleep for it because it's on Binance, right? So I'm a US, so I couldn't get one anyway. So
I mean, given what their price is right now, it's just like, they don't even have to do that much for them to be worth it. It's kind of crazy to me. Like, if you think about, like, okay, so if they make you $25 more a day from playing than you would outside of that, and you play just 3 times a week for a year, that's $3,900 that it just made you. And after 26 times playing, you've made your money back. Absolutely. So and that's if it's $25 a day. I mean, which I think that's super conservative. I think that it could easily upgrade you much more than that. So it's like they're selling for $650. You can make that back in a couple weeks, and then it's just all up from there. And there's a supply shock. It's just insane to me. I should sell everything.
Still donate plasma for a couple weeks, and buy one and call it good. But like bites on the Neo Tokyo guys, man, they have passive regen now. Those things, they haven't been over $100 a bite for a while now. They're getting $1,000 a day during peaks. It's crazy. So it's definitely worth it if you got the capital to work with it.
Syan, now to add on that what you just said, because that was important. Can you explain why that pass is going to be making you passive income?
Well, I was talking about the blueprint, but the blueprint.
Oh, the blueprint.
The blueprint. I don't think it's as much passive income as it is if it helps you earn more in the game. Like if it gives you a gun, that gives you a higher power, which means you can like get more, you know, you can win more fights, get more loot. I mean, I'm not sure all the different, I mean, there's a bunch of different things it'll be able to do. You'll be able to upgrade characters and different stuff like that. So just either way, it's like it even just a small amount of utility at the price that it's being offered right now, and the fact that it's a play to earn or a play and earn. So like, yeah, it's actually gonna make you more. I think that is, and I think the fact that, I don't know, this is just my suspicion, but I think the fact that like they're sold in dollars is like low key just like suppresses the price, because if that said like 0.12 ETH, that would look a lot cheaper for like a crypto NFT, I feel like, for some reason. So I don't know. I just think, I think it's only up from here probably. I mean, not financial advice, but.
And if anyone's wondering, you kind of have to say that financial advice thing. A lot of people used to give people hell for it. Like, no, man, it's a legal deal. So whenever you hear that, you have to do it, like at least in the United States, or you can get sued by someone losing money off that shit. So if you guys are wondering.
All right, this just came in from limited edition. From Meta Mafia. We are going to launch a public poll. Need to know from the community what time, hours we should launch our Copper Fair launch auction. We will be posting the poll on Twitter and take it forward later tonight. 8th, 10th is the time frame. Just need to know when the community wants to kick it off. So see, this is awesome, because this just shows that the developers are in constant contact with the community, and they're constantly communicating, which.
Well, I'd argue that they should start it at around 10 o'clock Pacific time, because we'll all be asleep, and because we can't get it over here in the U.S., right? It makes sense.
No, the U.S. can do the Copper launch.
Copper, you can do it. I just did a Copper launch for INFT. It's cool.
You can. I thought you had the KYC for it.
Not for Copper.
No, not the Copper.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Now, what I don't know is if they're doing a Dutch auction or not. The INFT one, they did Dutch auction, so the price.
It looks like a Dutch auction.
It looks like it's going to be a Dutch auction. Yes.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool deal. I did it for INFT.
That's the way to go.
And you just go for it. It settles on a fair value. The first people kind of suck, but if they waited, then they wouldn't have to worry about it.
So who wants to explain the Copper auction that's going off? Because for someone that's just tuning in right now, they may not know what exactly we're talking about.
I've done one Copper auction once before, if nobody else has. But basically, you see what's available, and you pay the price that you think you want to pay. So traditionally, if you go to their website, you'll see the arc of a number of different projects, and it'll show you how sometimes things are launched and the price shoots up. Sometimes the price comes down, but it will just be listed with a price, and people will buy it accordingly. So you can put in your bids and go from there. At least that's my memory from when I've done it once before. And yeah, it's real easy peasy. I think the downside will be, because so many people are going to be interested in this, instead of thinking logically about where the price will be, they're going to FOMO and drive the price up. Whereas if we keep our heads about us and say, right, here is what I tend personally to work off of a factor of 10%. So whenever I see something that's coming off of its launch, I feel like I've done all right if it's a project I believe in, and I've been able to buy it for 10% above the pre-sale price. But if I have to pay more than that for something that's unproven, I'm a bit gun shot myself. So, I leave it to everybody to make, as you say, not financial advice, do your own thing. But yeah, basically you get in and you just buy it where you think it goes.
So the one I did, it was like this. It was again for 3 days. They start high, and they have an X amount of tokens, a maximum, say 25 million, for example. And every 10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, whatever they program into there, it drops by, say, 1%, or et cetera, et cetera. So if no one buys anything at the end of that 3-day timer, it'll get to a maximum floor, which is, say, start at 9 cents, and that absolute bottom it could get to in that time frame is 3 cents. So when people bid on it, whatever, it kind of bumps the graph a little bit and bumps the graph a little bit, and then slowly raises that floor depending on how many people bid. So in 2 days, if the demand is like super, super crazy, your floor is going to, surpass the starting point. But if demand is average or low, you'll start tapering down to that stalling point. For INFT, it started at 9 cents, I think, and I ended up picking mine up for 6.5 cents. And then the absolute floor was, a little under that. So you just want to buy into what you feel you're comfortable with. Like, they give you a max and they give you a floor. So there's no real mystery there. So you're like, hey, I'm comfortable spending over the max, or I'm comfortable in the middle, and the closer you get to the floor, the better. At least that's my experience with it.
Could you guys explain this? Could someone explain what the highlighted stuff means? I'm new to this. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. I would love to explain it to you, but
does
seems
anybody?
Like Bowden or Ratlaw have the most experience.
Yeah. So
do any of you know?
From now I'm probably going to be wrong here, so don't skewer me on a little rat poll. But from what I understand, the weights, that's the ratio, right? So it looks like it's like what was that 20-to-1 starting ratio? So if 1 cent to say 20 cents or whatever, and then the ending weight will be a 1-to-1 ratio. So where they'll meet in the middle, so say 10 or something like that.
Okay. So people are placing in USDC basically and getting Syn back,
right,
until the ratio is 50-50. Okay.
Right. So that's all the ratio goes, and that pool is how much of that they're offering on there.
Oh, so they're adding liquidity to it. So every time we purchase, they're basically selling that and getting a percentage of the sale every time until it's gone. Okay. Their liquidity. Okay, is that what it means?
Basically, that's how much of the contract tokens they're throwing in there for that particular token. Say there's a 2 billion, they're putting 500 million, 25% in this. It's a percentage of their contract.
I kind of get it. I'm just gonna buy it, and hopefully it doesn't go to zero.
Just FOMO.
I mean, if you read that when I was reading that white paper, I was like, there are so many things to do with your Syn, like staking it and stuff, that I'm like, it's just crazy. I think they just know what they're doing. They're like, we're just going to create these like limited things, and we're just going to put so much utility in them into the game that it just, that's like the economic engine.
But there's also an in-game token that's like the SSN or whatever also, which doesn't have
synthetic. Yep.
Yeah, synthetic.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, that'll be used to like purchase. It's going to be used to like purchase things in the game at like a discount. So if you stake your Syn, you can get synthetic Syn, and then you can use that to buy in-game items for cheaper. The other but then Syn itself is also like, you can do a bunch of other stuff with it too. So what I'm interested in is if you're gonna have to like choose, because there was a couple things you could do when you staked it. So I was wondering if like you stake it and if you automatically get all these things that they were listing, or if you have to like choose what you're gonna get. But because that would kind of be cool.
I mean, I from the way I was reading it, I think you could choose. It'd be awesome if you get everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
That might depend on how much you stake, maybe too. There might be like a weighted pools or something. You stake X amount, you get one thing, and more than that, you get two or something.
I have a question. One more question about this whole staking and all that. I heard different people saying that it's actually better to probably get into the token or into the copper versus the IDO, because you don't have to stake with the copper, but you have to stake with the IDO. Like, what's the advantages of the IDO then?
Well, you don't have to stake with their IDO. Like for Polka Starter, for example, typically for Polka Starter, you have to KYC and have Polka, staked. This one you don't. You just have to be on the list.
Okay.
That's way better, trust me, because that's the thing. Like I've participated in some IDOs, and it is so annoying because like you have to buy the coin for that launch pad. You have to stake it, hopefully like stake it in time, and then that maybe gets you like a lottery ticket to maybe get you on this whitelist, and then you might get like a small allocation of the token, and then you're left with like this launch pad token, and you're like, do I just hold this? And it's just like, it sucks, and you're wasting gas. Like the copper launch is 100% the way to go if you are, unless you have like $30,000 or something, or you already have one of the launch pad tokens.
So I'm like, I was a big member of like Engine Starter, but just to be a guaranteed pool, you have to have at least 25,000 Engine Starter tokens, which is right now not a whole lot, but literally the allocation I'm guaranteed when I do that is $10 about guaranteed to me. And you get in, you get your $10. Hey, cool, you're guaranteed. Hey, That's
Go buy a burger.
Exactly.
Oh, but on the other hand, you have to weigh the pros and cons of it. So one of the good things about getting in on a launch pad is that traditionally the launch pad, you want to go with something that's reputable, and they vet out a lot of the rubbish projects. Whereas if you go to some random site, and I don't want to throw any names out there, but you can buy into something that's just crap. So it's a give and take. Whereas if you are in a launch pad that has a reputation for weeding out the lesser projects, you can get in then cheaply as something is taking off. So it depends on your appetite for risk. Yes, all of this is risky, but if you're going to go with a launch pad, yeah, you have to put 20K in the kitty to get an allocation. Fair enough. And that gets you, somewhere between $200 to $1,000. Great. So here you go. You've got your allocation and the project does well. You've made back more than your money on the one first thing. On the other hand, you can have 5 bad ones. So it's really a personal choice, I think. But on the other hand, if you don't have access to the launch pads because you're in a geographical area that locks you out, I think the way that they've done this, giving you 4 launch pads you can pick, as well as the comper, that's the go. And my personal opinion, I've looked at the launch pads. I think this Blocktopia, I'd never heard of them before. They are new, and I think they've got a lot of potential. I don't know if you guys have evaluated it from that perspective, but if nothing else, they're able to drive traffic to a new launch pad that maybe people will consider investing in. It's a 1-2.
I think they did great because the whole other thing they're doing doesn't exclude the United States on the stuff either. They're really doing their best to include everybody, and I just appreciate that fact.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true. That's very true.
Mm.
All right, so do we still want to talk about the blueprints, or you want to go to the next question?
I think we've covered that, don't you?
Yeah, I've shielded enough.
We talked a lot of
Surprised
stuff
me.
about that. All right, so
Well, I would like to say something about the Syn passes.
okay.
I imagine in the future that eventually these Syn passes will be owned by, each one will be owned by one syndicate. So eventually these will all branch out and run a single syndicate, just because I think in the future of this game that they will have so much power personally, maybe in 10 years from now, if your syndicate doesn't have a Syn pass, then you're not going to be a contender, right? At all in the game. Because you got to think, maybe there's going to be 5 million, 10 million people playing this. Who knows? Maybe more. If it's actually a valid way to make money, you could have 50 million people playing this game and 800 passes. Each one of these people are going to want to start their own group or sell it eventually at some point, So that's think about it as your pass to own your own corporation in the game, basically. That's what I think.
You got a solid point. You got a very solid point.
Yeah.
I'd like to say one more last thing about the blueprints is I'm looking right now. I know it's a lot, but the floor price, if you get through the 100 of them that are the floor, the price is $980. So 100 out of 8,000 is not that many. So if someone were to go in here just buy the lowest 400 of them, now you're looking at like pretty much $1,000 for one.
Would they start at?
What's that?
Would they start at? What price? What was the floor price?
$350.
$350. The game didn't even launch yet, and it's already at $9 for the floor price.
No. The floor price is $682. I'm saying after you get through the floor of the first 100 of them, you're looking at close to $1,000 to buy one.
The only reason that thing's $682 is because I'm pretty sure the United States can't play.
Exactly. That's exactly the reason. I had to buy mine through friends that aren't in the United States. I bought 3 of them that way. And yeah, if myself and other Americans could just buy them freely through Binance, I'm sure it would be over $1,000 by now.
Oh, I would have.
Absolutely.
I would have one
Not
myself.
no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your next
I need to find some better friends.
All right, so next question we're going to go to. We'll start off with Ratlore.
Well, no. It's Scion's turn to go first. I don't think he went first yet.
Oh, I didn't even know we were rotating.
All right, so we're going over to so if you have someone coming into the game, they want to be a lone ranger. What's the benefit of belonging to a syndicate?
Well, I mean, if you just think about it, like from again, the logic of just like it's a mafia game. I mean, the whole thing is kind of surrounding the idea of a DAO. So like there's an organization with multiple people, multiple participants. And I think a lot of the stuff in the game, you're going to have a huge advantage. If you have a syndicate, you'll probably be able to like use teammates' assets. You'll be able to borrow assets, maybe get them cheaper. Maybe you'll be able to open up a business that you wouldn't be able to without a syndicate, because they have different levels of syndicates that can have higher level businesses. So I wouldn't even be entertaining the idea of trying to come in and play by yourself personally. Like I would get, if you're serious about like making money in the game, then that would be your first move, is to join a syndicate, in my opinion.
Otherwise it's suicide.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So
yeah, it'd be very hard for the Lone Ranger to compete with.
They
everybody.
said the lone wolf finds no sheep. You know, let's go all the way back to one of the earliest announcements.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
I mean, I guess you could be a mercenary, but I mean,
I will say, except for that one guy who minted that past like 3 hours into ARC 2.
Yeah,
he found a couple sheep, but aside from that, once the real game launches, yeah, I completely agree. I don't think you'll have a chance in hell at being successful in this game.
none.
Rattler, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I mean, just the community you need for the ARGs, which is kind of the team building deal. I would be impressed. That guy who hacked that one, he said it was easier to hack it than to figure out the damn puzzle, and that was a quote. So I mean, you need a team just to do that. Like, I was up, I had probably 5 hours of sleep and probably 60, 70 hours. Like, I learned so much from it. I'm actually super grateful for it, even though we didn't get it. But like, just the detective skills of that, you learn so much how web code and running code in the website. I never did that crap before. I was turning images into audio and reversing it and back and forth, and yeah, it was a blast. But you just don't have enough time to even do that by yourself. Even if you had all the skill set to tackle each one of those things you need to look at, you're not going to be able to do it. Strength in numbers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Many hands make light work.
Mm-hmm. Hack, you already went for this one, right? Do you want to add on to that?
He's the one that hacked it.
No.
Hence the name Hack.
Yeah. No,
that's why I was praising that guy.
Everyone
That guy's stunningly handsome too, I heard.
Oh man. I gotta say, during ARC 2, I felt pretty useless because I think my background is with cryptography and solving those kind of riddles, and using tools like that. And I wasn't very useful during that. I was good at like staying on track and being like, keep looking at the hints. He gave us all these hints. We need to keep looking there. But we had some really talented developers. They were like brute force attacking the thing and breaking past the thing straight to the Tetris game. And then they were programming a thing to play the Tetris game automatically. And like, we had some crazy people on our team. They were figuring all this stuff out, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, keep going, guys. But, that's why it's important to be in the syndicate, especially because you never know when you're going to have, something that one person in your, 200 person group knows how to do. And that's the one person that pushes you forward on the next ARG or in the next game or whatever, the next avenue that we go up against, so that's pretty much all I want to say is, yes, the leader of Hack was pretty useless during the last ARG.
That's all very true, though. You never know someone's skill set until you interact with them,
Strength in numbers, right?
Yeah. With more people, you can, because
like
one person
you guys don't know this, but I can knit a really good sweater. I might need that for the next one. Little rat sweater.
You're starting the clothing line. Double Tap, do you want to answer this question?
Well, I think the biggest thing is loyalty. If we're going to have a game that's structured around mafia, mafia requires an element of family. At least that's how it's been in the real world. And you need to know that you can rely on people to get jobs done when you're sleeping, say, and continue to move your, not your family, your interests, your shared views and interests. You need to have someone continue to move that forward, because ultimately we've still got to live in the real world. So I think that's the biggest thing, is making sure that we have each other's back. And that's, why I think you need to join the syndicate that's right for you. If you're going to try and be I don't want to say a double agent. There we go. That way. If you're going to be a double agent and try and, snipe information, you can do that. But how fulfilling is the game going to be for you, as opposed to, playing it in your own right? Like I've tried to think of the many different facets of how people are going to interact, and, the illusion that things are going to be private, because they're never really private when you're on the internet. So yeah, I think having a syndicate with a general group of like-minded people that are functioning as a whole will get you there, because as we know, not everybody knows everything. Like, I appreciate that you can make sweaters out of rat fur. That's fabulous. I can't.
It was human skin, but whatever.
So yeah,
Nice,
that's my answer.
Awesome. Cyan, we're gonna go over to you. And you already answered that question.
Yeah, I answered. Yeah, I started. So we're good.
All right. So the question I have for you is, what does this mean to you? How do you envision the free-to-play, play-to-earn aspect playing out between the syndicates?
Are you asking me? I started on the last one, and this one's hard, so I'm ready to pass this one off. No, I mean, I don't know exactly what you mean between the syndicates. Like, I mean, I do think the syndicate events thing is really intriguing to me, and I think we're already like, this is just like a small example of like just the tiniest tip of the iceberg of potential. I think the syndicates will be able to have, events to incentivize the people in their community to make money and to contribute, and then we'll be able to have community-wide events. I think the daily quests, like if you have, as we've talked about, like, I mean, and Mr. Biz is really the guy to talk about this, is like, if you get that free to play going and like someone can just come in with no money and like do a couple daily events, like do some PvP, PvE missions, and kind of just build up a little bit of money and build up wealth, and they can go from zero to, to hero like pretty quickly with just some effort. But then if you figure that out, then everything else is taken care of. That's it. So, I mean, as far as how that interacts between different syndicates, I'm not really sure. I'd be interested to hear if someone has something to say about that. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge part. But I think after reading the white paper, I feel like that's the thing that they've given the most thought to, is the base economics. So I have faith that it's gonna work.
All right, great. Rattler, we're gonna go over to you. What do you think about that? The play to earn aspect playing out between the syndicates.
Everything you said was perfect. Pass. That's a hard question.
Does anyone want to add to that, or?
Because I keep trying to figure out, how it would play out between the syndicates, because everyone's kind of doing the same thing. When you beat another team, you earn this and that. So it's really unknown. I'm gonna kind of wing it.
Well, here, the full question. There was more to the question. This is actually in the white paper, or one of the things that they posted, like this. What does this mean? Like, what is, like, after the hyphen, it says that in the, I think it was in the copper thing on Medium. Like, what does that mean? Like, what?
Yeah, so there will probably be competitions. I bet you there'll be, like, let's say 1 month, there will be a competition for like the syndicate that like owns the most like pharmacies, or takes over the most pharmacies, or raids the most. And then like, so there will probably be competitions where like, everyone will be racing to be number one in that one, and then they'll move on to another one. So that's probably one of the many ways in which you can like make money by just winning these competitions in game. I think that's what the syndicate events is talking about. And then daily events would be the same idea.
Yeah, it's basically the last two questions they're pretty much the same. I just want to split them up just because it could mean different things. Like, PvP. So like that's basically like I could play against somebody in my syndicate.
So
No.
I don't think that's what it's talking about. No, you'd be raiding an enemy syndicate, and like the PvP will be like the mob boss is going to set up the.
All right, I got it.
Defenses.
I got it. I got my PvE, PvP mixed up. Sorry.
I tell you what, though, I hope that they have destructible NFTs that, like, you go to battle somebody, and your NFT that is worth $5,000 gets destroyed. You know, personally.
Oh my god!
Because I'm a real DGen. I'm a DGen, and you know, I want to gamble for everything. You know.
Well, the character NFTs can die and get burned.
Okay.
That's right. If you don't fix them within 24 hours, that's right.
Yeah, if you don't pay to revive them or whatever, they're gone.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You gotta take it to
the church.
I'll take a crack at answering this one, and I could have it totally wrong. But what I think the difference is that if you show your daily grind, it shows that you're committed and you're invested and you're moving forward. So I think that's what part of what they're, as in the developers and so forth, are going to be looking for, is that you actually have a syndicate that is engaged and is active on a daily basis. So I don't know how they're going to reward that, but I feel like they will. Then your PvE and your PvP, those are just going to be for you to gather wealth for your syndicate as a collective effort. But then I think the syndicate events, I think that's going to be where the bosses get to decide, right, there's a big event coming up worth 100K. And I think this is where it might get a bit testy. And I could be 100% wrong, but I think it could be where either if you were an active member and you pulled your weight, you could participate in it and win, or they could choose to only give it to the people with rank. So I think initially when the game starts, the people we're going to be in the biggest syndicates are going to think, oh yeah, I'm doing really great. I'm in a syndicate. We're doing awesome. But they're going to work out quickly that they're just being sacrificed for the greater good. And it's my opinion. I think they will then try and leave those big syndicates and join the smaller syndicates. And I think the smaller syndicates are going to be like, you should have come to us before. So it's really interesting because I do think the doors are going to be closed to them if they choose to stay a number. But I could be mistaken. I've just been trying to read the tea leaves on this and think of how it's going to be different and sustainable in an ongoing way.
For sure. I was going to say the exact same thing about that. That's another reason to join a large syndicate, because you're going to need somebody to revive you.
That's true.
What if the game ends up being kind of like Ready Player One, where if you get killed, you lose all your loot and it just flies out and everybody can just go grab it?
I mean, personally, I love that idea. But, you know.
It's like the good old Ultima Online days, man.
Yeah, like hardcore Diablo 2, man. Anybody ever play that? You just
I have not.
Kill the dude, you run down, you kill the dude, you take all his stuff, you know?
That's how it should be, man.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, But
I mean, you don't have to take it all out with you, but I would also say like the game economics would be basically if you only come out with like say 100 of your Syn SS token, SS or Syn tokens, and the other person has like 500,000, you're not gonna be able to take all 500,000. You could probably take like maybe twice as much as you have in your pocket. But if you do have 500,000, you could take all of this. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna really how it works out, but I mean, it wouldn't really be fair if some noob accidentally kills me after someone else already knocked me down pretty good. And then he's like, now I'm rich, and they, you know, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I never really played these kind of games. I always played like games like Dynasty and Destiny and stuff like that. First player shooters and things like. But I never really played these turn-based games, except for unless you're gonna compare it to like Final Fantasy. I always like Final Fantasy games.
Well, to add on that, I'm curious about the looting, because you're gonna have looting in here. Are you just gonna be taking from somebody's wallet, or how's that gonna work? Does anyone have any insight on that?
Maybe Meta Mafia is listening and will respond.
So how it would work is that when you go to do an action, you would probably like sign off on a contract basically, and that enters whatever you have into the contract, and then you're basically, no, looting is not player to player. Okay.
So it's like World of Warcraft.
But yeah, so yeah, if it was PvP, you're signing off on your NFT to go into a contract. Basically, that's the only way that it could be transferred to somebody else. So you'd have to like sign off on something, basically.
It's kind of an auto battler too, isn't it? But you can kind of control. At least I think it is. And I'd imagine, like, you win, you get whatever loot's on that other team, and then you convert it to whatever, if I were to guess.
Man, we can't bring puss anywhere.
Tell me about it.
She wants to open a bar now, and
that's where the money's at.
It is. I want to own a couple casinos if that's possible. So
that'll be sick.
We got through all the questions. I wanted to go back to someone said this earlier. There was two things. First off, someone said that where'd it go? This. So I'm guessing the Syn City Marketplace is going to be available to everybody, including the US. So I'm going to buy blueprints on this, which that's pretty cool. I like that. But here's what else somebody said. I never considered this. So yeah, all the blueprints are unrevealed. I didn't know they're all so all the blueprints aren't exactly the same thing. I thought it was like you could make it into something. So I could have like both my blueprints, they could be anything and they have to be that. Like I didn't know, I didn't even think about that. So that's crazy. So I can have like a blueprint for like a bazooka and then a blueprint for like a robot arm or something.
Yeah, it's like a mystery box.
All right. So that makes me want to have more of them because I thought they all had the exact same utility, but now they don't. So
I guess that's why it's like limited edition. You can't get it again.
Yeah, but the thing, my way of looking at it is I was going to buy 2 more last week, but then like I heard on the AMA or something that you couldn't stream. So I'm like, I don't need 4. But now that that changes everything. So now I'm going to probably go buy a whole bunch more this weekend.
Yeah, because they're
I took notes
friends.
of a recent AMA where they were saying they're going to combine them. I think it was the Guild Fi.
They did say that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're going to be able to combine them to get more utility or function out of them, that's awesome. The downside to that is there's only going to be 8,000. So, if you're going to let's say everybody or half of them get combined, it's definitely going to create a scarcity problem now, isn't it?
And it's going to skyrocket in price.
Yeah, because you're basically deflating the value or deflating the number. All right, so let's go across a couple of these questions. Oh, first off, I promised someone, so we're going to take a 5-minute break. I promise, then we'll get into the questions that people ask, but I have to show everybody this because someone made it today, and you're going to find out immediately who made it, or at least the syndicate that made it. But I have to show this off because this was made by 3 people, and I just think it's really cool. It kind of reminds me of what we have to compete with in this game because you have Hack that has all these awesome animations and stuff. This was made by, I think I said it right, Pusky. It was made by Pusky. The music was done by Jonathan, who did the whole DJing for Christmas. And one of my longtime friends, Patrick, I think he goes by Metaman. But I just had to show this off. It's 40 seconds. If you haven't seen it, just tell me what you think. Then we'll go to a break. I'm so bad at doing this on the fly. I need like a middle person that can do this. All right, so
you need a Jamie.
What's that?
Never mind.
Oh, I don't know if it's gonna play music, but hopefully it does.
Could I just say something, guys?
Sure.
I've just got to say, I got to head off. I promised my girlfriend I'd be done by 7:00. So I had a really good time talking to all you guys. Seems like we got a really good group of people here, man. I'm really excited about this and the future of this game. So
yeah, I didn't even know it was going to last this long, but I am. Yeah, no problem. We'll have. I mean, Ben or Iceman could fill in for LAC stuff or later stuff. I don't know. Just ignore me right now. My brain's starting.
You have COVID brain, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting brain fog. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe we could make this a once a week kind of thing. Especially once the game kicks off, it'd be kind of a fun thing to do.
For sure.
That would be awesome.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Oh, one of the things I was meant to say, our boss, TNC, he will be jumping in on these in future. It's just he's in the middle of shifting house. So I was meant to say that traditionally it will be him.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just one of the ring-ins that was tapped to come up.
All right. Sounds good. And yeah, and next week, the leader of CN said they would come on as well. So we'd have them as well. I mean, we have enough room for all 7 if it's one person per syndicate.
Can I say something? It was actually nice having a girl up here too, because it's all men, and it's nice to have a different perspective. So I mean,
For sure. That's why I always like hearing Miss Purple's voice, because it's just different. Hearing a woman talking about a video or game and crypto, like both things combined, is pretty damn rare, man.
Yeah, you got to offset the energy a little bit for sure. It's good.
No, I actually think it was awesome that you came on.
Oh, cheers for that, because I tend to stay in the background because you know how it is. It's a murky situation when you tell people who you are.
You get a
They
lot
treat
of
you
free stuff.
differently.
Haven't you ever played any games?
Oh, it's a bit of a thing, you know. You see how the women get spoken to in the chats, right?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. Is it bad? I'm guessing it's bad if you say that. Yeah.
Oh, you just get spoken to in a way that's not exactly favorable. I'm sure you can, relate.
Oh,
right?
my kids they're gamers, but they're 12 and 13. So I mean, they tell people to stuff it though. They're like, they say it right back to people. Like, they're not afraid.
all the more reason for you to keep coming on.
Yeah. So
Yeah, oh, well, and conversely, the other side of that is that technically, everything isn't mine. So, as Australians can participate in a lot of things, and I'm a dual citizen. But everything I do is it's for the betterment of someone other than myself. Because America is one of the countries that taxes you no matter where you are.
yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, like, not half, but all like my OG, all my OG NFT buddies, they're all from like half of them are from Australia, pretty much, and I mean, they're probably gonna want to meet a woman from Australia. Like, they're all married and stuff. They're not gonna be all weirdo about it, but they just don't know that we don't know that many women from Australia that are into, like, I don't know that they know. I don't see them in our discords I share with them. It's all like, it's a bunch of American women in there, and they all come from Top Shot, so they're all basketball fans. But it's nice to meet another woman, especially one from Australia that's that into it. And hey, maybe you become the spokesperson for your syndicate. I mean, I think you did a great job tonight. I think everybody did a great job tonight.
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah, top job, everybody.
So with that,
roll the video.
Yeah. Here we go. Tell me if it has sound or not.
No.
What's no sound?
No sound.
No. I did not know that this was Jonathan Kraft that made this when I saw it earlier. I'm kind of like,
yeah, he did the music behind it.
I like it. I love it. The collab.
Yeah, I got 3 guys to come together to do this. So I'll try to do it again in a second. I don't know how to really work all this stuff. It gets kind of weird. I don't know what it's showing now. So yeah, we'll just take a 3-minute break. Who else wanted to leave? We'll come back with the questions from the audience. I have like 6 or 7. We can just spitball them and go real quick.
That's fine.
All right, if you're taking off, I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you all throughout the week. If you stay around, I'll see you in a couple minutes. I'm just going to play back what we played at the beginning.
Right back on that ass with another episode. When we talk about NFTs, there's only one podcast to tune into. This one right here. About to spit these rhymes like a masterclass. Connect your MetaMask. Half this PFP's a trash. DNS, do not smash. Crypto Poppy found the net. Now he's getting cash. Rules ain't there yet. Please don't be rash. NFT got stepped on the scene, he made a splash like corporate cash. I just quit my job at DoorDash, nice guys finished last. Stepped out of the ashes straight into the squanch land, fungibly a new man. Alphabet flyer than a fucking toucan. Ways to go from kangaroo land. Schiller, he a moon man. About to get goofy, go grab doofy, get a horse. My wife couldn't get my NFTs, straight up in divorce. Fuck it, take the keys to my motherfucking porch. Trash cash, let the mad bees run the course. Squanching past the knowledge like a motherfucking torch. From the outside looking in, I just got off the porch.
Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, 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 go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, 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 go.
Go AB, go AB, go. If you didn't, now you know. Like Suki Zape, I'm finna blow. TikTok's art is a trend to go. Plunging, no plunging, and capping, no capping. Been around the block and been running laps and been writing rhymes and been getting raps and keeping that ETH when dingling taps and snap in, snap out. I'm big on big cloud. Don't scream, don't shout. Suck the cool cat, cool with those two. What's incoming? I can't afford you. Zed had got a horse that is glue. Sneakerheads better stick to their shoes. Creatures trending, I'm not a muse. Lost souls blow up, I'ma light the fuse. BG on sports, I bet I'm gon' listen. Cody and ZK, they men on a mission. The lawyer be lawyer while Bakra be fishing. What is the floor and how many minted? Am I gon' ape and I already hinted. Don't have an ape and it ain't no mystery. But these bad boys about to make history. Fresh ass suit at the Christie's.
Christie's. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go AB, go AB, go. Go, go, go.
Ooh, all right. What's that? All right, let's see if it goes now. I put on Twitter. Somebody, I need to mute someone there. Okay. So I put on Twitter to see if it works like this. All right, share audio. So now it's doing audio. Good, good. All right. All right, what'd you guys think of that?
Nice. It's like old school like 2K NBA basketball music.
Yeah, the pixelation might not have been the best because it's playing off like a 48-inch TV right now, so it's not all compacted. But we're gonna redo it a little bit and get it all HD and widescreen and filter out the back a little bit to blur it up. But that's what we got going right now.
It's nice.
Ben, you're here. All right, Ben, let's start. You could jump into the next stuff. Here's the question that Ben always likes to talk about right here. Ready? Yeah, everybody can talk now. Just jump in whenever.
I mean, does anyone have anything to say? I've actually been curious, like really curious about the like, I think we're gonna learn a lot after the IDO and once they announce like the high table and kind of say what that like mafia as a DAO kind of thing is, how that's gonna work. Because like the community is gonna have some say on like that, like the tax structure and like the level, I think. And then like the syndicates are also gonna have their own tax. I'm like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know much about it. I don't know if there's a lot of details out yet about it, but.
Yeah, I heard about this in a couple of different places where people were basically talking about how the tax system's going to work, where taxation, where the devs, the owners of the game, are going to get back money out of every transaction, and then everything else gets divvied up. And I'm pretty sure some will go to like a vault, like a syndicate vault, and then the higher up you are, or the more time you put in, like, yeah, I don't know. What does Mr. Biz say? Oh, there you go. So I don't know. I guess it all, but it depends on how your syndicate's made up too. Because I know for one thing, LATR has a they have a DAO that has voting rights, and everybody in there has a voting right. Correct? Are we allowed to say that, or?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, I was reading a comment in chat. Were you talking to me?
No, I was saying like the sub DAO in later is basically everybody's going to have a say in it, and basically the higher up ranking you are, you're going to have a slightly larger voice, but it's not that much where you overrule everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. We try to have this. There's something there's some feedback somewhere, but like everyone who's part of the organization has a vote in like certain decisions. Now, it is going to be interesting when the game comes out. There's going to have to be a definite distinction, I imagine, between like people that are just playing the game under like your flag or whatever, and then like the people that are kind of like in the actual organizational part of it. Because I mean, if we're talking about thousands and thousands of people, you know, you're not going to be able to bring it. First of all, not everyone's going to want to come in and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to like do all this other stuff for LATR. They're just going to want to play the game. So people have a vote as far as the organizational structure goes. So yeah, and I'm sure many of the other syndicates have something similar. And then I think the same. And then once we're at the high table, that's exactly how it's going to work as well. It's going to be like a seven vote DAO or something probably. Yeah.
I think the way that each one of the syndicates is set up is important, and that's going to feed into the overall game itself, you know, the MAD. Because if you don't have enough of your people represented at your individual high table, like we do, so the Double Tap Hitmen have 13 people that vote on decisions, and then they're debated and then voted, I should say. And then they go forward to the kingpins. So there's 4 kingpins and a boss, and they make the decisions again. So basically, we want it to be you just confirm what was decided at the high table, and on you go. And I think if every syndicate has some sort of decentralized group that brings the votes together, it will help strengthen the overall for everyone. But I don't know that all of them will. I think my concern is that you're going to have people that are power hungry and not want to share, as opposed to saying we all got to move forward together. I think that they're going to say, more for me, I'll enrich myself and my elite few. And I don't think that's going to be profitable for the majority. Whereas if you want to keep your family as a family, you got to look out for everyone.
Yeah, everybody's gonna boot. I'm gone. I'm not staying in that one.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. And I don't even think that's going to be profitable for them, because at the end of the day, if you're not incentivizing people, if you're not giving people a reason to contribute and be a part of your syndicate by allowing them to like have a say in some decisions and obviously get some of the profit, then who's going to want to do that anyway? This isn't, you know, no one's signing up for exactly what they have in the outside, like, you know, world where you're just told exactly what to do and you don't get anything for it. So yeah, I think this is totally a great opportunity for us to like basically create ourselves in a decentralized way, all these different syndicates kind of doing their own spin on it, hopefully, of this just like idea of a community run, you know, gaming organization, mafia, you know, for Syn City. So I mean, I think it's great, and I think your structure sounds pretty cool.
Cheers.
All right, here's a question. They're tough questions, right?
I think the amount of Syn staked, I think is going to be huge. The amount of the Syn token that you have staked, I think they've hinted at that a lot. So I think I think that's what the main thing is that will drive. I think that might be the whole thing, to be honest with you.
These are good developer questions.
But they have said that. They have said that in the white paper that like you stake the high table will be the syndicates that have the most Syn staked.
Right.
So
that's exactly from what I gathered too. Is the only way to get your syndicate to the high table is to stake Syn into your.
So that's just more utility for that, like the Syn token. I mean, it's just like
it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
If you can get it.
which is why they, we're talking about grow your syndicate size matters, because the more members you have, the more money you're going to have staked into your syndicate, which will get you to the high table, which will give you more events, which your syndicate and all the members in it will actually earn more, make more, and have more opportunities.
I'm actually interested. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was imagine based on your status on that level might determine, percentages of loot you may get or something like that during the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone said that. Yep. Follow up.
Mm-hmm. This is a good question right here, or a good statement.
See, I don't think it is going to be tied as much. So let me back up. The number of people in your syndicate, there will be an incentive if you have a fair few people that have a little bit. But I also think that if you have fewer people that are more dedicated, you'll be just as successful long term, because they've thought of that. I'm sure that they have thought of big corporations coming in just to capitalize. So I'm sure I interpret what I have read and what I understand about this program is, they just said they don't want venture capitalists to come in that are only interested in where the people give me the money. I wrote that in the most recent notes that they said at the last AMA that I caught, at least. And so if they're shying away from that from the get-go, that gives me hope that they are going to try and make it where people can thrive as a group instead of thrive as a corporation.
Yeah, I mean, and I think so. I 100% agree with everything you said there. They definitely have thought of it, but they've also said that it will come down to like your Syn stake. So what makes me but the thing is that it makes me more bullish about what they're going to do for the 7 syndicates that have like that, us basically, because they don't want like a guild of 20,000 people to be able to come in. They all just buy the token, stake it, and now they're at the high table like automatically. I think they've thought of that. So I think they're going to give like via like NFTs or maybe just some of the Syn token or some other advantage in the game to the smaller syndicates. Like even like later, it's like a big syndicate, I guess, for just Syn City, but it's not big compared to some of these guilds that are going to come in and play, obviously. And so that's why we're all going to be working together, I'm sure, in a certain way, because we are going to be outsized by like a lot of other, organizations that come in from the outside. And I think they've assured, Meta Mafia and team has assured multiple times that they're trying to make sure there's a way for us to compete with that. So, yeah, I just think it's going to come down to assets, to be honest.
Here's a thought, shooting it out there.
Yeah, it's a good thought. Yeah.
But here's another thought, just shooting it out there. What if all the main 7 combine into one, and then you have subdivisions? That's a whole nother thing to think about.
Oh, now there's a thought. I hadn't considered that, but considering you've got these other big boys coming to town,
exactly,
that's an interesting thought.
What was, did you just, because I was reading Sham's comment, what was the?
I was saying a good, just a thought to shoot out there is what happens if the 7 main syndicates combined it into one, and then you just have subdivisions because you have to compete with the larger guilds that are coming in.
I mean, maybe I would hope you'd hope we don't have to do that. Like, I think you'd hope that you don't just have to become you don't have to just become more. But yeah, like I mean, who knows? It's hard. It is. I think if we did that, we could take over. You guys
all want
to
be the Rat Kingdom, so I mean, you don't want that to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. But although I do like cheese, I will say Cheez-Its, Doritos, man, I gotta say those are my weakness. So
Cheetos.
I got this new vanity now. It's I get this little Mexican spice powder. It's called Tajin. It's like a lime salt thing, and I just put it on my Cheetos.
Tajin is awesome, man.
Oh, you'll never not use it. It's amazing.
On everything.
Everything.
Exactly. Yeah. What Crypto just said. And that's what I'm saying. So that makes me think, like, how are they going to protect you? Like, if the game is about getting Syn tokens, getting land, like getting this power, and then staking that to be at the high table, then how can they protect you from other guilds coming in by giving you assets?
You know what? One way they could possibly do it, I have no idea if this would be accurate or not, but like when they form these original 7 during this whole process, it's like those 7 guilds have a guaranteed, say, 25% of all the sayings as far as votes go, or something like that. Or, you know, maybe regardless of their size, maybe something along those lines, perhaps.
I don't see how one gang can have all the Syn passes. That'd be pretty crazy, but
yeah,
I mean that's what Hack was saying. That's what Heimdall was saying.
It's not possible because someone was saying 1 per syndicate, but I'm gonna get at least 2 of those things before the game comes out, and I'm not selling them. So, I mean, maybe I'll sell one if you're gonna give me like 50 ETH or something crazy. But like, if I can go buy put a huge down payment on a house, I might consider it.
I mean, that's the thing about, I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. You're going to be on white lists. You're going to be getting like in exclusive channels. It's the type of thing that like, it's hard to actually place a value on it because it's unlimited. Like it could pay off in some understood amount, because if it gets you in on like a bunch of game launches and other things that happen in City before other people, or you get like some piece of alpha that helps you do this. Like you have no idea how much that's going to pay off. Or just the connections
of who you meet within
exactly
the same group, you know.
Exactly.
People pay a big price to get somewhere. They usually can afford a big price for a reason.
Look at that.
Well, but as you were saying, you know, you can't help but be pulled up with the people you surround yourself with. So, you know, if you happen to surround yourself with informed, intelligent people, odds are you're in a good way. But if you surround yourself with idiots, well, sorry about your luck.
So another thing to look at.
I need some new friends.
I think it would be super, super smart to buy as many Syn passes as possible, because you're going to generate that passive income repeatedly. I don't know how often, but I mean, you get 15,000 at the very beginning, and someone broke it down today. How much is 15,000 going to equate to in fiat?
If they go based off that 2 cents for the IDO, then it's like $300 or something. But that's just off the IDO price, though.
Yeah, there's no way it's going to stay.
Yeah, 2 cents is going to last about 2 minutes.
Yeah, probably. And I think it
10 billion.
What was it? 10 billion of them?
Was the supply is 10 billion, right? Is that what it said in the white paper?
I think it was. It was a billion or 10 billion.
So they're releasing 5% of the whole supply during that copper launch, then, for 500 million on copper launch.
Yes, that's exactly what it is then. Yeah, because they said 5% of the supply.
Yeah, and they said a lot of the supply, and they're only releasing like another 20% max or something through the IDOs.
Probably not even that much. The IDOs really don't offer a whole lot.
Very small.
So it's even less.
Yeah, the other IDOs are much less. The copper launch has a much higher percentage of like the total supply than the other ones do.
Man, these guys, they're smart as hell. That's an awesome way to.
Yeah.
Well, look at who's working for them, or look at who's investing in them and stuff like that. They have all the key players, you know, and first movers. So like, they're learning from everybody's mistakes, you know.
Exactly.
Elio and Becker and the Beast and all these guys, they're first movers, and they're like, hey, this is what didn't work. So just don't do that, and they're doing all the right moves. And honestly, I think them delaying this ARG3 is the best thing they could have done personally, because
Absolutely.
it keeps us stringed along, for another month, or whatever, 4 or 5 weeks. You need 3-4 months of just hammering a community to get that emotional investment, or you just have people come in, whine, complain, and they bail out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is true too. Someone said this. They already did say there will be more blueprints. They just won't be the Genesis blueprints. That's not really what the questions say. Yeah, there will be more. There's definitely going to be more blueprints. There may even be more passes, but they won't be Genesis passes, so they won't have the same equity, or not equity, utility. Where else is this? Someone else had something that was cool. No, not that one. No, I lost it. Guys. Feel free to talk about whatever you want. Iceman, you want to talk about anything? Because you did a whole. You've been doing a lot of videos recently.
Yeah. I just got to do another video on that on the copper auction, but actually we didn't even touch base on the Size Matters campaign that's going to be going on right after the copper auction.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's going on. No, that's already happened.
They're going to be, revealing what it is.
I know. I'm so excited.
Are there any ideas about what that is? Because I know the snapshot's already done and everything, from what I gather.
I think it's land. I mean, I think it's turf.
I
hope so.
How do you divvy that though, or you just say, hey, whatever your leader gets it, or how does it, or is it like that's what it is. It's the mob boss that is going to control it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think, like, I'm actually interested to see if like shit hits the fan when the money gets involved, because there's some, again, I can't talk to other syndicates, like internal structures, multi-sig wallets and whatnot, but like the mob boss is going to get this stuff and they're going to divvy it out. And like, if there's not a system in place to like do that properly or to do that in a transparent way, like, ooh, man, that is going to be bad. And that is coming in a couple days. Yeah, well, exactly. That's coming in a couple days. All that for later, we just in the last couple days, because it's coming up and we need to have it ready, is like, we have a multi-sig wallet set up that will have them put whatever rewards we get into. And we have 5 different signature holders, some from like the finance and resource department, others are chairs, and we have it spread out. And then that's how like we'll be able to divvy out resources. That way it's like decentralized and more in like a trustworthy manner, rather than just and like Simba, our mob boss, will have like control over what happens there, but he's 100%. I mean, he couldn't make this because it's like he's in the EU, but yeah, he's 100% focused on making sure everyone who contributed, gets a fair shake at it. So I hope and I trust that most of the other top syndicates have something in place for that as well. But I think there will be, because like there is such scrutiny on these people, because now a lot of these people are a lot more popular than they ever were before. And the Rat King, for example, he never, that big a social media type stuff, and now he's got 10,000-15,000 followers, and he's like under a lot of scrutiny. So I think they have a lot of pressure to do the right thing, which is a good thing, versus if it's just 1 or 2 people and like they're off the money, they're running.
Yeah, I have a question about all this. Like, so that's gonna be a lot of damn work if you have a syndicate of like, let's say 1,000 people. You have to send 1,000 different transactions out. Like, you have to have that all automated too, or something, right? Like, that's gonna be a lot of work for however many people are doing that.
Most likely, it's probably the wallets logged for that syndicate, and then this is probably like a distribution or whatever, kind of like an airdrop or percentage or something, maybe. Because you wouldn't be able to do it that'd be crazy.
Well, I don't know, because
he doesn't even know her. He doesn't know our wallets.
Well, that's exactly right. Like, have you guys entered any of your members into the recruitment? Like, everybody's had to be entered manually. It's not as if they just show up to your thread and they get added. So I don't know how many of us kingpins are doing it, but I think 3 actually. So I misspoke just then, to try and ease the load off of just one person doing it. So you have to, there's a code that you input and then their name, and you have to enter it. And then they show up as your member, when you scroll on someone's name. And if it's manual entry for that, I anticipate it'll probably be manual entry for a fair few other things.
Yeah.
You're going to need that passive income just to pay the staff to
the founders of Syn City can't just airdrop it to individuals because all they really have is our Discord. They don't have our wallets, so it has to go to the syndicates first, and then they have to divvy it. Like that's going to be a hell of a lot of work.
And I don't know if it's as, I mean, yeah, I don't know any of this is all speculation, but like it's not, I don't really imagine we're going to be sending out, like we're going to be splitting everything up and sending it to people's wallets. In our case, I think it's going to go to the syndicate treasury, and then we already have a system in place for like how we vote and how we determine what happens with that money. I think we're going to deploy that money in the game, probably, in those assets in the game. I don't imagine we're going to sit there and like carve up the land and then like send a piece to this person, that person. It's the syndicate owns it. But if you have the proper structure organizationally so that everyone have a say on like what happens to that, then you're fine.
All right,
and you can use it collectively.
This is going to be like trial and error to see who has it set up the best, because
we do.
Some people are just going to fail.
I can tell you right now, we do. Because I've been thinking about this for a month since I got here. I've been thinking about how you got to do this. We have it set up perfect.
And somebody already
lose your members if you're not keeping your members happy too. That's the whole thing.
And did he release the syndicates white paper yet? I don't know if he released that yet.
Did we?
Did you guys release that?
Well,
yet?
Yeah, it's not really. We don't want to call it a white paper because that just gets you into sticky situations, I guess, because people expect
bylaws, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. We are working on like formalizing all the documentation that describes it as we speak. We've kind of been working on getting that all together. And we do have the treasury and the governance DAO set up. So I think we're as ready as we're going to be.
Like, is that how the other syndicates, you guys have stuff set up like that? You don't have to tell us anything if you don't want. I'm just wondering if everybody's doing something similar to this.
Yeah, I think most parts when people have stuff similar. You have people in power and things like that, and just getting everything in motion. My role is I'm kind of grandfathered in. I just kind of give advice here and there, but we have, people pursuing the projects and stuff like Ratchet Tech, or I don't know how to say his name in Rat. He's deeply involved in a lot of that stuff, and as well as, the Shaman, and then the King's kind of got some stuff going on, and then we all kind of merge. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the works, but I'm not the right person to talk to you about that personally.
The lore master.
I just remember what happened and tell people about it repeatedly. That's all I do. When I was there, you guys should have seen the devil in the sewer, and they go, "Oh, that didn't happen." I go, "Here's a picture." And they go, "Oh, you're great."
I'm gonna mute myself and just listen. My voice is almost all the way gone. So you guys stay as long as you want. Keep talking, but I can't talk anymore. My voice is.
It's about dinner time for me. I got some.
I mean, yeah, it's been 2 hours, so I mean, it was good. I mean, I think we accomplished. This was a great first, like, kind of step into the whole, like, multiple mafias as a DAO.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil, and there he is.
Yes.
I was just saying how amazing he was. Super cool guy. He's got great hair. Have you seen his fur?
Well, if anybody else has anything else to add or to throw out there to possible recruits, go ahead before we end.
I'll jump on that grenade.
No, me first. I called it. I got food. I say you'd like to be part of the Rat Kingdom, just because our goal is not necessarily just Syn City here. Like I said, we started in Neo Tokyo and then Syn City, and we're getting involved into everything that's major. That's our goal. Our goal as a community is to elevate anyone within it, hopefully financially, psychology, whatever. So that's kind of where we're going with everything. We kind of branch off, like we have Rat Tamer and stuff, he's running the show with, with Syn. We got the King and the Shaman. They kind of run the show with Neo Tokyo. And then we have another group that kind of meets in the shadows and kind of pushes the direction. We're thinking just so much bigger. So to keep that in mind, we'll run into each other all over the place. You'll see the Rat Kingdom pretty much everywhere, from Evaverse to all the other games too. So on that note, I'm gonna go eat.
All right, thanks for coming on.
Man, it was great to talk to you.
Yep, nice meeting you all.
I hope you make the rat noises as you eat.
Yes, squeak. Don't forget to squeak. Right. All right. See you guys later. Thank you.
See ya.
Well, basically, I think that the double tap Hitman is where it's at. And the reason I feel that way is because we do have quality, and we are looking for quality in our membership. So from my perspective, if you're wanting to be a member of a family that is motivated and moving together, it's where it's at. We are a select group of killers, and we don't mess around. And I don't mean that in any figurative way. I mean it quite literally. We will come for you guys.
I love it. I love it. I can attest to double tap Hitman having a good community. I like them a lot. They have great art too. So
yeah,
I'm jealous. I'm waiting for that NFT collection.
They're working on it. Yeah, we have got some cool stuff that's happening in the background. So don't you worry. Like, I've come into a bit of grief because I changed my name to permanently be this. And of course, that then messed up some other stuff. So I had to change it back briefly. But no, we got a lot of stuff going on the side. And when my name did not show as this in other forums, it created a drama. So yeah, I think we've got some really good stuff coming. You guys will have to wait and see.
I bet you do.
Looking forward to it.
And do you have any last thoughts, Syn?
I mean, no, I've said everything. I need to say. You guys, this was really awesome. So thank you for putting this together, getting everyone involved. I love it. I want to keep doing it. So
that's all right. Hey,
cheers.
Everybody's back. Welcome again back on. And if we have to, we'll do these two a night and just have one dedicated to this and another one dedicated to the other NFT stuff we talk about. So yeah.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Have a great night.
You too.